Professor Black Ops, you see it. Let's get it. AWS S3 Scanner, Red Team Tools. It scans for secret and public S3 buckets. The way the buckets are configured, you wouldn't think they would be open to the public, and they're probably misconfigured. So you see it at there, the S3 Secret Scanner, helping you lock down your buckets so you won't have any leakage. So let's read the article. New open source tool scans public AWS S3 buckets for secrets. New open source secret scanner allows researchers and red teamers to search for secrets mistakenly stored and publicly exposed or company's Amazon S3 storage buckets. Amazon S3, which stands for Simple Storage Service, is a cloud storage service commonly used by companies to store software services and data in containers known as buckets. Unfortunately, companies sometimes fail to properly secure their S3 buckets, thus publicly expose stored data to the internet. I think Capital One did that about that's almost 10 years ago, where they had a misconfigured S3 bucket. So this type of misconfiguration has caused data breaches in the past, with threat actors gaining access to employees or customers' details, backup, and other type of data. In addition to application data, source code, configuration files, and S3 buckets can also contain secrets, which are authentication keys, access tokens, and API keys. If these secrets are improperly exposed or accessed by threat actors, they could allow them far greater access to other servers or even to your corporate network. Scanning S3 for secrets. During an exercise examining Sega's recent access exposure, security researcher Harwell discovered that no tools for scanning accidental data leaks exist, so he decided to create his own automated scanner and release it as an open source tool on GitHub to help with timely discovery of exposed secrets on public S3 buckets. Harwell created a Python tool named Secret Scanner with S3 as part of the secret that automatically performs the following actions. Use the CSPM tool to get a list of public buckets. List the bucket's contents via API query. Check for exposed textual files. Download the relevant textual files. Scan contents for secrets and forward those results to your SIEM, right? So shout out to him. That's a great tool. So once again, it gets the list of public buckets. List the bucket contents, checks the textual files for exposure, download relative files, scan the secrets using Hog 3, and forward the results to your SIEM, right? The reason you want to put them in the SIEM is a lot of companies have a ton of buckets, right? So that gets them in the SIEM when they're in one central locations, and you just start making dashboards for them, right? So the scanner tool will only list S3 buckets that have the final configuration set to false, meaning the exposure was likely accidental. Block public ACLs, block public policy, ignore public ACLs, restrict public buckets. Any buckets that was intended to be public are filtered out from the list before the textual files are downloaded for the secret scanning step. When scanning a bucket, the script examines the context of the text files using Hog tool, an improved Go-based version of the secret scanner that can check for confidential credentials, private keys on GitHub, GitLab, file system, and S3 buckets. The Hog 3 scans files downloads for secrets using a set of custom rules designed by Harwell, which targets personally identified information exposures and internal access tokens. When used periodically to scan an organization access, the researchers believe that Secret Scanner can help the firm minimize chances of data leaks or network breaches or resulting from exposure of secrets, right? So hopefully you have this on just periodic scan at least once a month to look for certain vulnerabilities and exposures. Finally, the tool can be used for white hat actions, likely scanning publicly accessible buckets, notifying the owners of exposed secrets before bad actors can find them, right? So I'm a blue team guy, but I would use a tool like this because I want to scan before the bad guys use the tool to scan, right? So you want to do self-scanning of your organization and then just put it part of it. If once again your monthly scan and looking for vulnerability scans, and of course that will be a part of a vulnerability scanning. So once again, Professor Black Ops, let's check it out. Secret Scanner, AWS S3 scanning tool, usually used by the red teams, but anybody can use them. Once again, Professor Black Ops, please subscribe.